The theme of United Consciousness, Spiritual Democracy is very important, and I would like to touch on the very core, basic, fundamental unit of our entire society from where all these principles arise, which is family. The Harvard School of Adult Development did a study where they found over a period of 70 to 80 years, they tracked around 600 to 700 students who came from different schools across Boston, and then they found what was that one thing which kept them really happy in life. Somewhere from very poor communities, somewhere from rich communities, somewhere highly educated, others were hardly educated. But interestingly, as they progressed in life and the Harvard researchers kept track of their life, they found at the end of several years a very strong pattern emerging. And that pattern was, irrespective of economic background, education background, irrespective of skills and accolades earned, that one thing which kept everybody happy in the long run was relationships. Whoever had good relationships, robust relationships, healthy relationships at the family and the social level, they experienced a deep sense of joy, satisfaction, and resilience. So interestingly, India as a country has always focused on the family as the basic unit for all kinds of principles to spring up from. As we are celebrating the opening of the Shri temple at Ayodhya, I would like to dwell on the 4 top characters in Ramayana and how they represent the 4 qualities which are required for a relationship to be robust, strong, and healthy. Shri represents integrity. The difference between integrity and honesty is to speak what you have done, and integrity is to do as you have spoken. The modern education system focuses a lot on success, but the difference between success and happiness is to get what you like, and happiness is to like what you get. And Ramayana's theme is to help people understand the basic principle of happiness, because even if you are Ram, the Supreme Lord, things will not always go the way you expect. So Lord Ram represents integrity, and when he was asked by Dasharath Maharaj to go to the forest, along with that, Ram was also told by Dasharath, you do not have to follow this. You can actually reject my order and you can just do whatever you want, because I am doing this under force from Kaikeyi. But Lord Ram had to set the highest example of integrity and obedience. And he said, no, my dear father, I have to go to the forest. And again, Lord Ram, he wanted to go alone, but Sita and Lakshman accompanied him. And when Bharat comes and offers Lord Ram to come back, Ram again denies that, because he has to be true to his word. Therefore, the word is more powerful than the sword. When the words stop having value, then swords need to be brought out. And India as a country has always been a country which is based on the principle of respecting the sacred word and respecting the word at the level of social dealings. And so Lord Ram represents integrity. Lakshman, his brother. The word Lakshman comes from the Sanskrit shloka in Ramayana. Sarva priyakaras tasya ramasya pisharirata Lakshmano lakshmi sampanna bahir prana ivappara. The word Lakshman means one who is Lakshmi Sampanna. Lakshmi Sampanna means one who is endowed with Lakshmi. So the question arises, if Lakshman was in the forest, he was devoid of Lakshmi, why is he still called Lakshmi Sampanna? The Lakshmi being referred to by Valmiki ji, the wealth and the prosperity is that of wealth of seva or service, the opportunity to serve in spite of all difficulties and challenges. Dear friends, the difference between love and lust is love is based on service without selfish consideration, and lust is based on selfishness. Lust is all about seeking selfish pleasure, whereas love is all about ability to go through pain oneself to give pleasure to others. In every relationship, there is scarcity, impediment, discomfort, and unhappiness. But still, if the relationship of service continues selflessly, that is love. And therefore, Lakshman considered the opportunity to serve Ram to be his greatest wealth. And therefore, he was willing to go through difficulty after difficulty just to be able to serve Lord Ram. Dear friends, as we are entering into 2024, we are faced with a global situation where families are breaking apart. And this is a very, very important consideration. India has a major role to play to correct this, because we have this culture which is centered around keeping spirituality in the center of family, and a family which prays together stays together. Family as a unit has been the place where culture, values, religion, spirituality, tradition have always been encouraged. I was giving a talk at a college, a university in America. A young boy reached out to me after the event, started speaking to me in Hindi. I looked at him and said, "You look American, but you're speaking Hindi. Are you Indian or American?" He said, "I'm an American. I grew up in California. I'm son of a multimillionaire. When I was 17 years old, I asked my dad, 'You gave me everything in life. Big cars, golf courses, big houses. But you did not give me the experience of one thing, which is the joy of family, because when I was only 2 years old, you got divorced. And therefore, dear dad, please give me the experience of family." Today, as we speak, and I've heard from lectures of Guru Murthy ji also, that almost 88% divorce rate in a country like Luxembourg, 65% is the divorce rate of Spain, France has a divorce rate of 55%, Russia has a divorce rate of 51%, America has a divorce rate of 46%, the global divorce rate is almost 44%, India still has one of the lowest divorce rate, as low as 1%. And his father told him that, "I'm too old to give you that experience, better go to India and try it out." So he came to India, went to somebody's house where he saw paying guests invited. And he approached them and said, "If you allow me to stay as a paying guest in your house for just 2 years, just to experience what it means to be part of a family, to have those exchanges, to sit around the dinner table and exchange affection. I just want to experience that for 2 years. If you allow me as a paying guest for 2 years, I will give you a monthly rent of 1 lakh rupees. And that family said, "Why 2 years? Stay whole life." And they said, "If you have other friends also who want to experience family, we can open up a couple of other rooms also." Dear friends, we may take this family as an institution for granted. But believe me, if we, those who are connected to spirituality and dare to take spirituality seriously, do not invest in family as an institution, believe me, in the next 30 to 40 years, family will become a word which will only be referred to in the history books. And therefore, we have a very major role to play. And so, Ramayana as a classic text demonstrates how healthy families interact, interface, and deal with each other. So Lakshman refers to someone who is an embodiment of service attitude. So Ram represents integrity, Lakshman represents service attitude. Bharata, the word means Bharavahi iti Bharata. Bharata means one who is willing to tolerate heavy loads. Bhara. The word Bharata comes from the word Bhara. And what does the load with context of Bharata mean? Misunderstanding, circumstantial misunderstanding, accusation, insinuations, various kinds of false propaganda being made is very painful, and especially when that accusations are made by people who are near and dear to us, without giving us a chance to explain our situation and stance. Bharat was away when Kaikeyi did this entire conspiracy. Bharat was truly not a party to this conspiracy. but the entirety of Ayodhya felt Bharat was responsible, started accusing him. Even Vasishtha would not allow Bharat to touch the dead body and give the last rites to Dasharath Maharaj, saying that when Dasharath was dying, his last will was, do not allow Bharat to touch my body, because he is also a villain. He is a co-conspirator. I don't want even a shadow to touch my dead body. Just imagine, Bharat loved Dasharath more than his life, and now he has to spend his entire life with the pain that the person who was closest to me, dearest to me, my father, has departed with this thought. But when we go through this kind of misunderstanding, our tendency is to become hopeless. But Bharat did not become hopeless. We may become helpless, but we should not become hopeless. And Bharat continued with hope to invite Ram and become the king. When Ram rejected that and gave the Paduka, Bharat continued taking the responsibility of administering Ayodhya without accepting the facility. 1:30 in the morning, Bharat would go to take bath in the Sarayu. Why? Because after 2 o'clock, the citizens of Ayodhya would come to take bath in Sarayu, and when they would see Bharat, they would become so upset and angry that they would throw stones at him. Many times it is difficult to lead people who hate us. Bharat for 14 years was leading a majority of citizens who did not like him, who hated him, but Bharata means one who was willing to tolerate the heavy load of misunderstanding and accusations just because he knew it is my duty. And therefore, dear friends, in a relationship, if we are always keen to have pleasure and we are willing to give up the relationship at the slightest hint of pain, the relationship cannot continue. Bharat continued to serve Ram's order, tolerating that pain. Therefore, his name is Bharata. So Bharat represents tolerance, a third pillar in a relationship. And the fourth pillar in the relationship is represented by Shatrughna. Shatrughna means Shatrughna, Nitya Shatrughna, Nitaha Priti Puraskrita. Shatrughna means one who destroys his enemy. But in the entire life, Shatrughna killed only one demon. For killing one demon, to call him Shatrughna would be too much. Why is he called Shatrughna? He killed the Shatru, or the enemy of his ego. And therefore, Lakshman served Ram, Bhagavan, but Shatrughna served Bharat, who is Bhagavan's Das. And therefore, the entire of Ayodhya was criticizing Bharat. Still, Shatrughna continued his loyalty towards Bharata. And this shows the most important quality required in a relationship is humility. One who has overcome and conquered his ego actually becomes humble. And so Shatrughna is an embodiment of humility, and therefore Shatrughna represents one who is able to serve Bharat because of his humility. Dear friends, I want to close today's discussion by sharing that in a family, if we have relationships which is based on integrity, service attitude, tolerance and humility, in spite of so many difficulties and challenges which may come as a result of our interactions, as a result of the way we are living in these kind of difficult times, we are living in vulnerable times, we are living in volatile times, we are living in uncertain times, and it only takes not responding to a WhatsApp message to become a major cause for conflict and war. We need principles from Lord Ram, principles from Ram Rajya, principles from Ramayana, and as we celebrate the installation of Ram Lala at Ayodhya, let us remember these principles as the very foundation for Bharatiya spiritual democracy for all time to come. Thank you very much.